I might go.
I really don't know. I guess we can.
It's live.
It needs to move. Cory Booker delivers an impassioned speech at Ketanji Brown Jackson's hearing in New Jersey. I'm Haley Spivey.
And I'm Micah Hawkins.
And welcome to Panther News Network. Here's what's going on today. Cory Booker delivered an impassioned speech on the third day of Ketanji Brown Jackson's Supreme Court confirmation hearing Wednesday. As Jackson wiped away tears, Booker applauded Jackson for her historic nomination to become the first black woman on the nation's highest court and her path to getting there. You got here how every black woman in America gotten here by the following Ginger Rogers. I did everything Fred Astaire did, but backwards in heels. Booker said he continued, this country is getting better and better and better. When the final vote happens and you were sent on the highest court in the land, I'm going to rejoice. The greatest country in the world, the United States of America, will be better because of you. Check out this story from Catherine Dallum.
I'm a special guest. So go ahead and introduce yourself and say hi to your fans out there.
Well, one, thank you for having me. This is strange being in the interviewee seat, but hi, my name is Professor Bakita Pegram, and I am the host of Dope Conversations. We just taped one, so I'm still on my hosting high.
Yeah. So this is her second Dope Conversations performance or program that we've hosted so far here at KPVU-TV. So we're going to ask her a couple of questions to see how she feels about her show so far. So first question I would like to know, how did you start your show? How did you get into making this show called Dope Conversations?
This actually happened because of the death of George Floyd. I, just like many, were watching the news and I was outraged about what was happening. I am not a protester where I'm going to go marching because I'm scary and I don't like big crowds, but I wanted to be a part of the movement. And I had gotten so frustrated with what I was seeing on TV and not having no outlet. One of my professors, Dr. Elisa K. Thompson, actually suggested that I do a podcast. And I was like, podcast? And I'm like, no. But the first season of Dope Conversations went well. I taped from March all the way until October. And it was a way for me to bring researchers, scholarly work to the grassroots for people like me who want to be an activist but did not know what that meant. And so during that process, I found out education is my activism. And so that's how Dope Conversations came about.
Okay, so in learning with all that, when your podcast is going viral, kind of in a sense, what made you want to go broadcast?
Broadcast was not on the radar because I'm very much behind the scenes, but I was presented an opportunity through KPVU-TV because they heard about my podcast and they listened to a couple of episodes and they liked the message. Most of my topics, well, all the topics are social justice themed. Right. So I take various topics that impact our community and I break them down. I take the research and I break it down to how can we use this research at the grassroots level. So I was presented with an opportunity to do that on TV, but also taking the scholarly work of our professors here at PVAMU and hearing the young adults, the students, their viewpoints. And I was like, okay, I can reach a different audience. This is what I wanted to do was the work, so this is me doing the work.
Mm-hmm. What did you want to expect? What do you expect after dealing with all these social justice issues and having people come on to the show? What do you want more for yourself and the show in total?
So for myself, I wanted to continue to grow and learn more about the problems in our community and finding solutions. And I see myself as being able to learn more on how to connect the local people, because my whole thing and there's a segment part on the Dope Conversations podcast that talks about on my block. I feel like if I can just reach one person to change what's going on their block, and we worry about our block, and if everybody worries about their block, all the blocks will be taken care of, right, in theory. And that's wishful thinking, I know, but it starts with one. And a lot of times you have to start at home. So if you can start at home on your block and it just becomes contagious, I think that will solve a lot of the problems that we have. So I'm hoping that for the show, if we can just reach one community, one household, one person, so that they can know that there's more than one form of activism. Everybody is not going to march down the street. Everybody is not going to hold up a picket sign. But you can use your talents to make a difference. If you're an artist, paint social justice art. If you're a rapper, be a conscious rapper. There's a way to be active in the community and use the talents that you were given.
Okay, and what time and day can we catch the show?
Tune in on Thursdays at 4 p.m. and you can always watch me on repeat on PVAMU-TV YouTube channel and also on my YouTube channel, Bikita Pegram. And please share, leave comments so that I can grow as a host, but also bring topics that people want to hear.
This is Panther News Network.
Ukraine has updated its wish list for additional military assistance from the U.S. The list included hundreds of more anti-aircraft and anti-tank missiles than previously requested. The new list comes as Ukrainians claim that they are facing weapon shortages due to the Russian invasion. By early March, less than 2 weeks into Russia's invasion of Ukraine, the U.S. and other NATO members have sent about 17,000 anti-tank missiles and 2,000 anti-aircraft missiles into Ukraine. Now they are asking for 500 of each daily. Yesterday, President Biden said that armor systems, ammunition, and our weapons are flowing into Ukraine as I speak. Also, many Congress members like Democratic Senator Jackie Rosen believe that the U.S. should provide Ukraine with the weapons they're requesting as soon as possible. After taking a trip to help Ukrainian refugees, she said her biggest takeaway was the sense of urgency. Thank you, and we'll be back with the weather after this. Thank you for staying with us this morning. Gabriel Adams will show us the weather for today.
All right, then hello there. Good morning, everyone. On a beautiful Friday and this lovely spring day. We are coming towards the end of March. What we have here is a high of 82, so a nice warm, but not too hot start to the day or peak of the day. And then low of 49, so nice and crisp. As we progress within the morning, we start at 62 and shift all the way to 80 degrees in the heat of the day. As we transcend throughout the day and into the nighttime hours, we go into 62 degrees with a low of 51 degrees overnight. So please keep it watching out. Make sure you bring a sweater when you go out at night, and also make sure to keep water with you when you go out through the day. As we see, temperature range is quite drastic. And now we cut to commercial break.
Google fosters a work environment that marginalizes Black employees, denies people of color advancement opportunities, and ignores sexual harassment claims, among other indiscretions, according to plaintiffs in the class action lawsuit filed against the company in California this week. At a press conference in San Francisco on Monday, attorney Ben Crump and two former employees of the search engine detailed that they called a racist culture in the enterprise headquarters in Mountain View, California. These women tried to ring the alarm, tried to raise awareness about the discriminatory culture, Crump said, and Google did not retaliate against the racial culture. Google retaliated against the victims of the racial culture. April Curley, a former diversity recruiter hired by Google to lure Black workers from historically Black colleges and universities, filed a lawsuit against the company, saying that during the 6-year stint, she witnessed people of color, including herself, typecast into jobs with no upward mobility or passed over altogether. Although she brought in 500 Black young workers to Google, she was not promoted during her time at the company from 2014 to 2020, she said. And here's a short clip of. She further alleged in the lawsuit that there was a systematic practice of racial bias, that Black people were not googly enough, meaning they did not fit the culture, and her concerns were not addressed when she raised them to supervisors. Instead, she was fired in 2020. Now check out this story from Haley Spivey. This is Haley Spivey with Panther News Network. Today, the Panther ambassadors hosted their annual Spit Knowledge event with guest speaker Duncan Kirkwood. I got an opportunity to speak to some of the students here who attended the event.
So like I said, my name is Duncan Kirkwood. I'm a global resilience trainer, and I'm a best-selling author. So what that means is I travel across the world helping young people to become more resilient, mentally tough, and mentally agile. I got my start doing that when I was in the Army. What happened was in 2012, we had more soldiers. Come on up here. We got to read off here. In 2012, we had more soldiers die from suicide than die in combat in Iraq and Afghanistan. And so that was, I wrote a book called Rerouting, Resilience Tools and Tactics. I've sold almost 8,000 copies in 7 different countries since releasing it last year. And so now people call me to come speak at colleges and schools. So then I quit my job. They start calling a lot. So then now this is what I do all the time.
Mr. Kirkwood's book can be purchased through his website at duncankirkwood.com or amazon.com. At the end of the event, students were able to ask Mr. Kirkwood some questions.
But I wanted to say, you know how people try to, I call it putting things in your wheelbarrow. So it's like, how do I explain it? If your whole life you're getting told you're too aggressive, if your tone is how you say things, and it's not receptive, and to you, you feel like, well, I'm just saying the truth. And somebody next to you can say the exact same thing, and they'll receive it better from them. How is it like, how do you differentiate where it's like, it's not me, it's just them, or it's like, okay, it might actually be me if somebody else is saying the same thing?
Great question. Okay, so I have struggled, not with the aggressiveness, but my whole life, especially when I was your age, because when you're 20, 21, 22. When I was your age, for me, people always thought I was cocky and arrogant, right? Because I believe in myself like nobody's business. My mom taught me to believe in myself, okay? So I do. You feel me? Like right now, if you was like, Duncan, we're going to have a debate about the best color. In my mind, I'm going to win that debate, right? And I'm not just going to win a little bit. I'm going to annihilate you, okay? That's how much I believe in myself, okay? So to some people, that comes across as arrogance, narcissism, cockiness. So people, I would talk to people, and some people be like, yeah. Other people walk out, man, I can't stand this dude. You feel me? And I'd be like, what? You know what I mean? I'm legit like, I just gave you the info. What I do? And then but they don't just not like me. They go tell other people, yo, you see that dude? I don't like him. Right? And you be like, wait, how did this whole thing just happen? Like, the way you come off is maybe it's direct, or it's very assertive or strong, right? Because you believe in what you say, or you're passionate, or whatever. And to somebody who is meek, or who isn't confident in what they say, or confident in what they believe, or confident enough to articulate it, your strength creates this big like light, but whenever there's a big light, there's always shade, right? And they get caught in the shade, and now they don't like how that feels, okay? So they're going to react. That's part one. But part two is it's okay to do some self-reflection. I had to learn, how can I still believe in myself and not diminish that light, but not make other people feel less than?
For years, the Panther ambassadors have been able to put on spit knowledge events. Successful people from different industries come out to meet and give advice to the students here at Prairie View University. Marvin Sapp, Charlemagne the God, Sean King, and Felicia Richard are some big names who have hosted Spit Knowledge in the past.
Hi, y'all. My name is Gabrielle OG, but I go by Gabby. I am a sophomore from Arlington, Texas, and I major in psychology. So today we had a wonderful event with Duncan Kirkwood, and he was able to really shed some knowledge on being passionate about whatever you want, make sure that you're persevering, and also making sure that you find your purpose while being in college. I think it's, for me, one thing this event did was encourage me a lot, because I just been having so much over thoughts, thinking like, man, can I really do this? Man, can I really do that? And today his speech really made me like, yes, you can do that. You can do whatever you put your mind to, no matter what it is. It doesn't matter the defying odds. It doesn't matter if that person is more popular than you. It doesn't matter whatever the case may be. All that matters is that you have a mission, so it's time to complete it. All you can do is focus about you instead of trying to focus about what everyone else is doing. So as long as you be that leader and step outside your comfort zone and do what you feel like is great for the greater good, then you'll be straight. But you have to worry about you. So that's what I had to take away from today.
The event lasted about an hour and 30 minutes in the JJ Auditorium. Students took with them great advice. This was Haley Spivey with Panther News Network.
Thank you for that story, Haley. There was like a lot of great takeaways from that. It was great.
Yes.
So Ralph Lauren has announced its latest collaboration, a collection released with two Atlanta-based HBCUs, Morehouse College and Spelman College. It's the first time in the brand's 50-year history that it has partnered with a university. Featuring men with side parts and bow ties, and the women with loafers, high white socks, and white dresses, the collection has faced some criticism. Some questioned why the brand chose to emulate this time of history, a time perhaps more palatable for white audiences. Others criticized that brands continue to give attention to Morehouse and Spelman, two of the most prominent HBCUs, rather than other lesser-known HBCUs. Ralph Lauren's decision to honor the school is a win nonetheless. The collection is set to be released on the Ralph Lauren website on Tuesday, March 29th.
Now check out this story from Gabriel Adams.
This afternoon, I was able to attend an event held within the Electrical Engineering Building presented by Prairie A&M's Ruth J. Simmons Center for Race and Justice. The event is known as Black Digital Futures, Afrofuturism, Artificial Intelligence, and the Black Imagination. The event involved 4 panelists who are Dr. Pamela Holland, Dean of College of Engineering, Dr. Philip Butler, Assistant Professor of Theology and Black Post-Human Artificial Intelligence Systems at the ILIFF School of Theology, Dr. Susanna Morris, Associate Professor for the School of Literature, Media, and Communication of Georgia Tech University, and Dr. Melanie Price, Endowed Professor of Political Science, Principal Investigator for the African American Studies Initiative, and Inaugural Director of the Ruth J. Simmons Center for Race and Justice. Within this panel discussion, the 4 panelists, along with the audience members, virtual and in person, were able to interact with each other and discuss of how Blackness intersecting with one's identity and being and spirituality, along with the incorporation of technology. In the panel discussion, there's also the discussion of Afrofuturism, the concept of Afrofuturism, its roots and origins in optimism, and how Afrofuturism will help the world progress in accordance with technological discoveries and breakthroughs. To stay abreast of upcoming events, please check out Prairie A&M University's website for the Ruth J. Simmons Center for Race and Justice. This is Gabriel Adams, and this is Panther News Network.
Prairie A&M University's Founders Day and Honors Recognition Convention celebrates the founding of the university and the extraordinary academic achievements of its students. This year, keynote the speaker was PVMU alumni endowed Professor of Political Science and Director of the Ruth J. Simmons Center and Race of Justice. Towards the end of the event, President Simmons called 12 student volunteers to the stage, which ended up resulting in 12 people, to give them $1,000 each. The overall message President Ruth wanted everyone to learn is to always show up and don't be afraid to get out of your comfort zone, because that moment could change your life. This event lasted about an hour and a half. We have a short clip of some of the honors coronation. The room was filled with honor students and their supportive families. Morning classes were canceled and resumed at 1 o'clock Wednesday. If you wish to view the Honors Recognition Convention, head over to the university's YouTube page. We will be back after this commercial break. Oh, Lord.
Dr. Pamela Holland has become the first woman to be PVAMU's Dean of Engineering. Born into a life of innovation, she recalls watching her older brother complete his engineering assignments and knowing that the field was meant for her. She went on in life to earn a bachelor's degree in electrical engineering at the University of Texas, a master's degree at PVAMU, and a PhD in engineering from Texas A&M University. Now she serves as the Roy G. Perry College of Engineering Dean at PVMU, and she's also the first woman to ever hold this position. She thanks Title IX for opening opportunities for women to gain the skills that they need to be successful. She also hopes that her story and visibility will inspire women to not give up when the odds are against them in a male-dominated field.
As this morning show comes to an end, we want to recap with a quiz with our viewers. What color was Ketanji Brown Jackson wearing during the Supreme Court hearing Wednesday? Royal purple, yellow, or blue? The answer was blue. If you got that answer, you were right.
Next, we have another question. What brand collaborated with Spelman and Morehouse? Was it Coach, Ralph Lauren, or Michael Kors? If you answered Ralph Lauren, then you are correct. Give yourself a pat on the back.
What company currently has a class action lawsuit filed against them? Google, Netflix, or Amazon? If you answered Amazon, you are correct. If you answered Google, you are correct. My apologies.
Who is the first woman to become PV's Dean of Engineering? I just said this one, so hopefully you get it right. Dr. Pamela Holland, Ketanji Brown, or Dr. Ruth Simmons? If you answered Dr. Pamela Holland, you are correct. She is the first woman to become PV's Dean of Engineering.
How much money did President Ruth Simmons give to 17 students each? $800, $1,000, or $300? If you answered $1,000, you are correct. 17 lucky students got a chance to get $1,000 from President Ruth. And that ends our show this morning. I'm Haley Spivey.
I'm Micah Hawkins.
And this was Panther News Network. Thank you for watching.